Today, I put two AI to the test to see which one is better at making a video game, ChatGPT or Perplexity.ai. Stick to the end to find out what happens. I'm using Claude.ai to generate the initial game pitch and then sending that off to ChatGPT and to Perplexity, and they can generate all the scripts in the Unity game. I'm setting up the scene, so there may be a little bit of user error, but at least we'll get a general idea of which one is better. And just before the video starts, I just want to say the end result is actually pretty shocking, completely not what I thought, so enjoy. The first thing we can do is to get Claude.ai to generate us a game pitch. Now, I've already gone and done this, so let's read through it. So Claude gave us an idea for a game where basically you have to go around the space station and collect a bunch of energy orbs while gravity can be shifted around. So you can go on walls, you can go on ceilings, you can stay on the ground, and gravity changes and you have to dodge enemies and all that. So that's the game we're going with, and let's send this off to both ChatGPT and Perplexity. And after putting the initial pitch in, it seemed like ChatGPT was already developing scripts, which I thought they would be going over a general plan first and then going into scripts, but no, they went straight into it, both of them did. Perplexity, in my opinion, seemed like it was producing higher quality code, however, that was just from first looks. Now it was time to start putting together the ChatGPT generated game. So the first thing I did was set up all the scripts and folders I would need that ChatGPT has already given me, so I can start giving feedback to it. And once all that was done, I could start putting in the player controller. To create the player controller, I basically just created this little bean character, and then assigned a bunch of stuff in the inspector. Okay, time to see if the player controller works. The character didn't work. Didn't work very well at all. I had to go back to ChatGPT and tell it, oh look, the camera's kind of screwed up. Can you fix this? Oh look, the camera falls over.
I'm tired, boss.
But we eventually got it working to a point where it was alright, but we went through a lot of painstaking processes to try and get it to work. After the play controller, it was time to get collectibles working. Now, Claude.ai said we're going to be making energy orbs, so I made them yellow and made them a little transparent just so you could see through them. But basically, you just walk over them and you pick them up, and that actually worked. It was the only script in this entire thing that I didn't need to change at all. I then told it finally to make a win condition and a loss condition and make enemies actually be able to do something, because right now they just move towards the player and that is it. And it did this pretty simply. The enemies now just move towards the player and also are able to damage the players. And the win screens and loss screens also work like a charm, super easy to implement, and I just threw together some really basic UI for them. Finally, for just a little bit extra time, I just created a small little level for the player to play in, added a little bit of challenge in based on what mechanics were available to me from ChatGPT, and I think it turned out pretty well. Now that we're finished with ChatGPT, we can now move on to Perplexity. Off rip, Perplexity seemed like it was actually just creating the exact same thing as ChatGPT. Getting into the play controller was already pretty damn rough. It seemed like no matter what I asked it, there was always something wrong with it. Whether that be the camera glitching around, whether that be the players sliding off the map, whether that be, any of 100 different things, the character just didn't work. Finally, after begging and pleading with Perplexity to, finally pull its head out of its ass and make something useful, it came up with something that I guess worked, so we went along with it. So the final thing to do with Perplexity was to make a win-loss screen. And it was pretty simple to make, I just kind of whipped it up. But I did make it a little different to the ChatGPT one, just so the games at least have some variance. Oh yeah, also, the game doesn't have enemies. Perplexity just couldn't do enemies at all, so we swapped to a timer system. And altogether, Perplexity was, I don't know, kind of easy to use, but altogether, Perplexity was kind of easier to use. However, the errors I had with Perplexity were worse and more unresolvable than the ones I had with ChatGPT. So in saying that, here's the final result. I got my brother to test the game, so enjoy. Okay, I have my impartial third party here to test. You have to tell me which one you think is ChatGPT and which one you think is Perplexity.
Oh, really?
First
of all,
there you go.
Oh, that's a bad guy. All right.
Yeah.
I'm a bit glitchy. Do I have to get to this at the point? Oh my god.
By the way.
Wait, what's happened? What the hell?
Yeah.
How do I?
And
I think it would make a good mobile game. But like,
because of the quality, or like
just the gameplay. I think this one's ChatGPT. But I'll play the other one and we'll see. I'll play the other one and see.
it was not looking good for ChatGPT. I thought ChatGPT was more put together than Perplexity, but apparently it wasn't. It was terrible. Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Right.
Although you don't have enemies.
Oh, this one's even got a timer. Oh wait, whoa, I'm fast. Okay, these points. Oh, cores.
I actually don't know if the windscreen works on this game.
Yeah, well, also, why am I so fast?
You win.
I win. Oh, that was much easier than the other one. Yes. I reckon this is Perplexity. Like it's unintentionally locked in Axis.
You know what's crazy is that might be me.
Ah, so you're the one. Your issue.
I've single-handedly sabotaged Perplexity.ai.
You did freak.
Oh, no.
Well done.
Thanks for helping.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my.
A few thoughts to wrap up the video. I think don't use AI for coding. It's terrible. Use it for suggesting stuff. You know, if you're stuck with a project, if you need some guidance, I think ChatGPT or Perplexity is a great way to go, right? It has access to the entirety of Google, so it casts a very wide net on all the information it gets. However, I think use it sparingly because, I mean, you see the shit that it pumps out. It's terrible, right? Like, sure, I did no work additionally to help the AI, which humans should do, but you'd think that a tool talked about this much would be a lot better, which is scary, right? That we're putting a lot of companies putting a lot of trust in AI, and for it to be not this refined yet, it definitely shows that we shouldn't be putting as much trust in it as we are. Anyway, those are just some wrapping up thoughts. Have a great day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.